I'm going to show you how to assemble your Natural Kids lampshade frame. This is quite easy and it comes in this little bag with a logo. I've assembled a couple of those for our kids, so I know exactly what to do and what not to do. Please follow my instructions carefully, and actually they have a quite complete guide on their website on how to assemble the lamp. So you begin by carefully laying out all those parts that come in this little poly bag. So what do we have here? You have those two semicircular frames, two rings, 6 of those guys, 3 of the shorter ones. The good thing about the manufacturer, they actually provided you with 1 extra of each, 1 long and 1 short, in case you break the tip. The only way you can break the tip is by not following the instructions, and their instructions on their website are actually quite good. I got to this website by following their QR code on the leaflet they had in the box. So the first, they suggest you laying out all the lampshade frame parts onto the table this way. I do suggest you following this so that you don't mix those parts up. They look similar, but they're different, of course. The next step is crucial. Make sure the symbols on circular frames are facing upwards. You have those little symbols, you see? These guys have to face upwards, because if you switch the side like that, the holes on those rings are going to be facing in different directions because they are not straight, they're slightly slanted. So you need to place all those frames and rings with those symbols facing up. This is the first step and foremost step. If you don't do this right, you will still be able to assemble lampshade. You might break one of the rods, but that's going to be your fault because you didn't follow the instructions. They do provide you, as I said, with 1 extra, but please don't miss this step. Just place them like that on the table. Same goes for this ring. There's a little symbol here. See it? So you place this ring not like that, but with these symbols facing up. That's exactly what they show on this little drawing over there. Same thing goes for this ring. Attach this ring right now, just like that, with your fingers. They suggest you doing that on a flat surface on a table. Okay, so I clicked it. There's no gap, nothing. It's all straight. The rings are very sturdy, made of a good material, no smell whatsoever. Now let's look for the symbols on this ring. Okay, that's them. You see? Those little symbols right there, facing upwards. This is crucial, guys. The next step, assembling the smaller inner frame. Take these 2. As I said, you see the symbols are facing upwards. Let me see, where's the second one? So here you go. See? Symbols, this one and this one on both rings are facing upwards. This is important. Place it on the table. I take the small rods. There's 3 of them. There's actually 4, but 1 extra. They say that these rods are slanted. These guys actually are slanted, but a very tiny bit. If you compare the angle with the larger rod, you see the difference. Larger rods, the tips are slanted much more, and even this ridge, you see, this is important. For the smaller rods, it's not really important if you find this angle. If you do find it, it's great. I can see that it's a little bit slanted this way. So that means with this ring facing the symbols up, I just put it into this hole, press it against my palm, and it clicks in place. If you have hard time it clicking in place like that, that means that probably you didn't find this right angle, and probably the symbol is facing downwards. So please make sure this guy facing upwards. So I do the same with the next one. I find the little angle. Okay, there's a little angle. So I place it so that the angle is, parallel to the surface. I press it against my palm like this, and it clicks in place. Same thing goes with the last one. Put it in, click it, that's it. So you have this smaller part, and then I just take the top ring. Again, the symbols have to be facing up. Let us find the symbols. There they are. So they're facing up. This is important. You see what they show you? You have to put them in the middle hole. There's like groups of 3 holes, and you put in the middle one of each of those groups. So you see, like, there's like 3 holes, 1, 2, 3. So you put this one into the middle hole. Again, I found it easy to press it against my palm like that. Again here, 1, 2, 3, you put it into the middle hole. Okay, and the last one, again, 1, 2, 3, I put it into the middle hole, pressed against my palm, and it goes in very easily. So this frame, it's very sturdy, it's really well made. And even if you like shake it like that, or you swivel it to the sides and stuff. And please notice, those tips are really flat on the surface here. And as you see, this guy goes this way, the larger part up, and the cymbals, as you can see, facing upward. This is the correct way to assemble it. With the cymbals here, there, and there. So you see, the cymbals are facing upwards. This is the correct way to assemble that middle part. So I assembled it and I put it just like that to the side. And now we go with the big guy. I already put together the two halves. I already found the cymbals facing up. Those are the cymbals. You see they face up. This is important, especially with this large ring. This is so important. And now I take the longer rods, align slanted rod tips with the circular frame parts. So let me see. Okay, they show actually this smaller one. This is the one I already assembled, frame A. And this is the larger one. You see there's a little angle. It's slanted here. This rod is slanted and this ridge is also slanted. It goes at an angle. So you actually have to find the correct angle. Let me see. Right here, this guy has a little angle. It's not straight. And this little ridge is also slanted. And it's parallel to this tip. So basically, that is the way you have to enter it. You don't put it like that. You can see that the ridge this way is not going correctly. It's almost perpendicular. This is not the way it's supposed to be. It has to be parallel to this ring. So if you do it correctly, first of all, it clicks in easily. That's it. And it stays slanted like that. Because if you would have inserted it in the wrong direction, it probably would have slanted to the other way like that. But you see, it wants to actually go inwards, and that is the way it's supposed to be. So I do it with every one of these 6 rods. I carefully look at the tip and I put it like this. Place it inwards like that. So the tip is parallel to this surface, as you can see. And then just insert it, and I prefer holding it, like that, just the very end of this. If it's not going in easily, there are probably several reasons. First of all, you can actually force this guy in the wrong direction. Let me see. You see, this is the correct direction. See, the little ridge is actually parallel to this surface. If I turn it this way, you can force it in there. You're gonna have a hard time. You might even break this thing, and it's not gonna fit perfectly. It's gonna fit, but this tip is gonna come out at an angle, so this is not good. I don't want to show you the wrong way, so I put it again, and it goes in easily. If something goes wrong, and if you try, for example, fitting this one in, and you turn it in the correct angle, and you align it properly, and it doesn't go in, try another hole. You go into it, and then it goes easily to another hole. And you see, right now, all of those rods are leaning inwards by themselves. That means I'm doing the right job. Okay, you have a spare in case you break one of those. But you can break it only if you don't follow the instructions. You actually can switch it. I can take it out, turn it around like that, and it's gonna be the same. Again, check the little angle, put it in, boom. Actually, this one went in easier. So now we have the outer frame assembled. What's next? Attaching the outer and inner lampshade frame. This is on the right, B. This is your larger one, and this is on the left, your smaller one. You have to look for the symbols. This guy, the symbol is upwards right here. You see it? And these guys also. Here's one symbol, and the same thing goes here. See, the symbols also face upwards. This way, you make sure that you connect everything correctly, and it will click in place easily, and you will not break anything. So what you do next, you just insert this part inside this larger one. Again, they say align it, but it's already aligned, you see? Because I followed their rules, little instructions. In this way, it fits in just you know, easily. Because if this at this stage something doesn't fit easily, you're probably made a mistake, and these tips are not aligned. If you can see here, it's actually aligning. You see, it's at an angle, and it's aligning with the plane of this ring. So it only happens like that if you follow the instructions and keep the symbols on all of the three rings up, facing upwards. Maybe you would have some little defects here. So what they suggest, you take a nail file, brush up a little bit, the tip, for example, just a little bit where you see there's unevenness or something like that. It's just in case that there is some extra ridge or something like that. I actually do recommend you going to this website of theirs, following that QR code, reading carefully through every little point here they have on the website. They mentioned if a rod does not fit into the hole, probably you didn't align them properly. Please do not force and apply pressure. And then you just, flip the rod like that, align the tip. And the rest is very easy. Actually, that part I won't even show you because that's like self-explanatory. It's very easy. The most important part is to assemble that lampshade frame. The size of the box is much smaller than it could have been if they actually would have put the metal holder in it instead of little poly bag with all those parts in it, which takes almost no space. So these guys are very smart. I do recommend this product, but you have to follow the instructions. All right. Thank you.